Bangalore
Okay. So can anyone tell me like what's the real case use of Python in real world application? What's it's mainly used in other applications? Can anyone tell me that one? So you have studied level 1 and level 2 Python, right? You should be knowing like why Python is used. Can anyone tell me where we can use Python? Is it just printing some functions or is it just like kind of doing some calculation and printing those? It's not right. So can anyone tell me like the real world application of Python?
So can I?
Yeah, sure. Anyone?
We can create apps which solve real life problems. Like you can read WhatsApp messages using it and automatically fix alarms for your meetings and many more.
Okay. This.
So it's also mainly used in, like, currently it's mainly used in artificial intelligence, data science. So like that's the most trending thing in Python.
Okay, you are right. Others? Uh, it was Ashir, right? And Abhishek answered. Okay. Others? Can you tell me other use case of Python?
Sir, web development.
Okay, you are also right.
That is
Sorry, I was not able to get. Abhishek, did you tell anything?
So like it's also useful to use in like artificial intelligence robots like in the using of code while they function.
Okay. Okay. So
And
what
so,
are, yeah, Abhishek.
so it's also used to make games.
Sorry, can you repeat?
So like Python is also used to make games and such applications.
Okay, you're right. It's used for game development also. So since you have learned level 1 and level 2, you should be like kind of aware of what Python is used. So since you are aware, like you should be able to get equipped to develop those things. Okay, so this Python is like kind of versatile programming language. It will adjust to anything. So it has wide range of real world application in various domains. So one like first one like starting with web development. We have multiple frameworks, example Django and Flask, which use Python to run as backend application. So it will give us kind of uh, backend service. So it will handle everything in the backend, and HTML and your CSS is there, right? That will put forth your web pages as front end. So in web development, there are two things: backend and front end. Backend is handled by Python using Flask. Front end is handled by HTML and CSS. Uh, has anyone tried HTML and CSS before? Do you have any idea?
Yes, so I guess we all have tried it.
Okay, fine. Then it's good. Well and good. Okay. Second, coming into real world application is data analysis and visualization. So since we have a huge amount of data, like it's being produced like thousands of terabytes of data every day. So in order to handle and maintain those data, so data analysis techniques and visualization is used. You must be aware of libraries of pandas, numpy, and matplot library. So these are like mainly used for data manipulation, kind of analyze what this data are and visualize this data. So pandas and numpy, it will manipulate the data and keep track of the data, analyze the data. Matplot library, it will visualize the data. Any doubt on that one?
No, sir.
Okay. So coming into like, since we have data, right? So we need to learn from the data. So machine learning and AI is another application of Python. So using those data, we'll learn something and we'll try to predict, or we'll try to kind of do the object detection, or we'll try to do something generate out of those. So using machine learning and AI, Python like extensively used. So Python is one of the core programming language for machine learning. Most of them use, and you have a large community for machine learning. So if you use Python, it's well and good. So game development also like uses Python to create games. So if you have you heard of something called as indie games? So anyone?
Yes, sir.
Games created by small single person.
Yeah. So if you see most games, right? So it's developed by huge companies. They have so many resource persons, multiple persons working on the game development. So what like single users like us students or something, what we develop it's called indie games. So Python is used for this kind of small game developments. So when I say scientific computing, so anyone can elaborate on that one. What did you understand like by the term scientific computing when I tell Python is used in that one? So what do you guys do in your science class? Not class, like kind of. Do you have a lab or something?
Yes, sir. We do
Yes.
have labs.
Okay, so when you go to your science lab, what do you do over there?
Experiments.
Experiments.
Okay, so you do experiment. In order to do that experiment, what is that procedure called as? So like you do research, right? Kind of like in general terms, it's called research. So there are multiple instances where you can't do the actual thing. So what you do is that you'll simulate some of the scientific researches using some calculation and some other modules. So in scientific computing, Python is extensively used for simulation and emulation, those kind of things, calculation. So other, coming into other thing, anyone heard of IoT?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you tell me what IoT is?
Internet of Things.
Okay, Internet of Things. When I tell Internet of Things, what is that?
Small chips are something which can be remotely used to monitor or get information.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So Internet of Thing is that we are connecting multiple devices from the central point, like kind of use your system as central point, and you connect to multiple sensors or else multiple output systems over there. So what I'll do is like, have you heard of Raspberry Pi? So it's a small, very small device. In next class, what I'll do is like I'll show the demonstration how to use a Raspberry, like not like kind of to you for you to use how Raspberry Pi works using Python. I can show you that one in next class. Okay. So I'll share some of the links. Can you download those softwares? I'll share the screen also.
Yes.
Everyone is using Google Colab only, right? As of now.
Yes, sir.
For
Okay,
WeJump,
so we need to
yes.
run Python in our system itself. So we need to first download Python. So I'll share the screen just a minute. Just I'll share the links. So everyone first open python.org, that first link which I shared.
So, like, can I know where will you share it?
This one. You're able to view my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first link I've given python.org, right? Open that one. So if you open that, you should be able to come to this web page.
Like that link is directed, sir.
This python.org, yeah, it's direct itself.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So that link you have sent is a direct message to Tanishka.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
sir.
sure.
Yeah.
We'll be using Visual Studio Code. So you can go to Microsoft Store over here. And you can search Visual Studio Code. So this one we need to use the blue color one, Visual Studio Code. So PyCharm we are not using because it's too much heavy for your system to run. So this Visual Studio code is way much lighter and it will run smoothly in your systems. So if you search Visual Studio Code, you get an option to install over here. Click on install, get and install. So once you are done, you can tell me have you installed this Visual Studio Code.
So I already have it.
Okay. We'll wait for others also to install. Let them install. What about others? All of you have Visual Studio Code or do you need to install?
Like it's downloading, sir.
Sure,
Okay, let it
I
down.
have
Sir, I already have it.
3 and a half.
So if you go to this python.org website, right? So you should be able to see download over here. So latest is 3.1, 13.0. So you can click on this. So Python 3.1, 3.0. So if you go down, so Windows installer is there. So if you're using Windows operating system, you can install using this Windows installer 64-bit. So it's just 26.9 MB. So when you're installing, right? So install now is there. Before that, add python.exe to path. You just have to click on this one. So install now. If you give this one, it will automatically install. So make sure you add this python.exe to path. So I'll repeat once again. If you go to python.org over here, so you should be able to see download. So latest is 3.13.0. So click on this, and if you scroll down, you should be able to see Windows installer 64-bit. So when you click on this, it should download. So once you download, can you?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, yeah, Abhishek.
Yeah, sir. Sir, I installed the Python 3.13.0 64 bytes. Sir, it's while I opened, it's already showing the tick mark of use admin privileges when installing py.xy. Sir, shall I take out it and add
No,
Python?
you can. Both you can keep. It's like giving administrative privileges to Python. So you can click
Sir,
on both. Like you can click on
okay,
both.
sir. Okay, sir.
So you can click on both of this. So you're just giving admin privileges. That's it. So once you have installed, right, in order to verify, so that Python is installed, open CMD, type search CMD. Comment prompt will open like this. So this would be like C users with your laptop name. So if I give Python minus version, so it will give me the Python which I have installed. So in my case, it's 3.12.6, but in your case, it will be 3.13.0. So when you type this Python minus version, right, if you are getting some error, so just mention it to me. I'll sort it out.
Like, sir, like mine, it is like 13.13, sir.
Yes, in your case, when you installed Python 3.13.0, right? So
Yeah,
it will be 3.13.0. Yeah.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
Python has been installed in your system. Yes.
yeah. Thank you, sir.
So what about others?
Sir, it's successful. The setup is successful. Can we close it?
Yeah, you can close that one. Once it's successful, you can close, and you can search CMD for your command prompt. So you should be able to get this black screen over here, kind of a window, and you have to type Python minus version.
Sir, I already installed, but in the command prompt, it's saying that Python was not found. Run without arguments to install from Microsoft Store or disable this shortcut for settings, manage app,
That is
execution.
because this add python.exe to path is not executed before when you installed. So if you have done this, yeah, Kampo.
Sir, it is coming. Setup was successful.
Okay, if it is successful, go to search and type cmd or command prompt, open this one and type python minus minus version. So was not getting that python error was getting. So that python command error was there, right? Who was getting that one? So you have to make sure that it's in your environment variable. Whoever was getting that error, right? I'm telling for that person. So you can search environment. So edit the system environment variables. So click on that one. And you can select advanced over here, then environment variables. So if you go to path, that Python path has to be there. So if it is not there, like we need to add that Python path. So whoever was it, like just mention it to me, we can sort that one out.
Sir, can you say that environment you're saying no? That one.
So edit the system environment variable, go over here.
Okay, sir.
So go to advanced and environment variable over here. So if you go to path, so mostly Python will automatically take, but you need to enter path. You have to go to edit and you need to add the path of your Python where you have installed. So new and the path, like if you have installed in C, right? So this is a long process if you have not selected that option. Program files.
Excuse me, sir. The
Yes.
command comma came. Want to type? You type in this.
Python
This only want.
Python minus minus version you need to type in command prompt.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So you need to go to the path where I've installed Python, right? In my case, where is it? Python. So what we need to do is like we need to add this path. So it will be C users with your laptop name, app data, local programs and Python 313 in your case. So you need to copy this path. So this is only for Python where it's not working in your command prompt. Only for that person I'm telling. Not everyone has to do. It will automatically be added over there. So you need to add. So you need to add this path.
Can you send that link in the chat box? That.
Okay, I'll send this one. But in this CDI, Eden is there, right? It's your system name in your case. and make sure it's your Python 313. So what about others? Everyone installed Python, right? So we'll continue. So open Visual Studio Code.
Then where is Visual Studio Code?
This one in Microsoft Store is there, right? You can search Microsoft Store. Microsoft Store will come. Click on that one. You can search Visual Studio Code. Search over here in the top. You should be able to see this blue color Visual Studio Code app is there, right? You need to install this one. So if you click on that one, it will come to this page over here. So it will be telling get or install. So click on that one. After that, install will be shown. After that, you can search as Visual Studio Code over here in your search bar. Okay, now if you can see over here, you can see multiple options, right? File, edit section, view, go, run, terminal, and all. So I'll make sure to explain most of the things which you can use. So one thing is that when you click on file, you should be able to create new files or open folders. So one thing I'll teach you is that most probably keep this in mind. So click on open folder first. Create a directory for your projects anywhere. So WeJump. So day 1. So level 3 day 1. So create the correct path and you can select this folder. So you can click yes, I trust the authors. So it's just for security purpose it's asking. Any doubts in this part? Or else you can do one thing, you can open folder from here also if you're not getting this welcome screen. So once you open new folder, right, there are 3 ways to add files. One is that using this file, you can create new file. Then if you can see this small box with plus icon, right, like kind of a file and plus. So you can create new file from here, as well as you can create new file from here. 3 ways you can create files. So I create new file. So if you see over here, this one it's blinking, right? So we need to mention the Python file name. So I'll give it as test dot Python file as extension. So this extension is .py. So I need to give file name .py. So once I click on this, test.py file is created. So if I go to this WeJump and level 3 day 1, right, test.py file is created, Python file. If you can see, Python file is created. Any doubts on this one? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, everyone was able to execute this much?
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you can see over here, right? So file will help us to like kind of create new files, open files, or else close the editor and other things. It will also save. So you can edit your files from edit options. This terminal is there, right? So we need to, if you have seen command prompt, so this terminal will act as a command prompt. So go to terminal, new terminal. If you click on new terminal, you should be able to see a screen like this. So ps WeJump. So it is showing the path of the Python file which is present in my system. So it will be different in your case. So this is the terminal. This is just like command prompt. So if I type Python -- version, so it should be able to give Python 3.12.6. So in your case 3.13.0. So just basic, this is the code editor script part. So this is where you write your code in Python. So this test.py is there, right? So if you can see one over here, so this is the area where you write your code. Is equals to 10. Print. So in order to run this test.py file is there, right? So it won't automatically run. What I need to do is like, first I need to save. So file, save. If I make any changes, right? So if you can see this white circle over here. So it's said that there has been some change in the Python script and it's not saved. So it's a temporary file as of now. So what I need to do is like every time this white color round circle comes, right? I need to save that one. Okay. So if you're seen in your Google Colab, you used to run Python file, right? So in order to run, we need to give the command. So Python, I need to give the file name. So in my case, it is test.py. So if you can see that a is equals to 10 and print a, right? So this 10 has been printed. The output is given. So it executed this file and exited that file. Any doubt till this point, or do I need to repeat something?
Sir, can you once again show that after A equals 10, the result, how to run it?
Okay. So this is the script part where I write the Python code. So 1, 2, you should be able to see, right? So b is equals to 12. So then we'll write print. So A and B, there are two things, 10 and 12. I should able to print A as well as B. So if you see over here, this one, the circle, white circle, right? So it says that the file is not saved from the previous changes. So what I need to do is like, I need to go to file and I need to save. So what it does is that this will have the latest Python file. So with the saved ones. Then I need this terminal you have opened, right? So what you need to do is right, type Python space the file name test.py. So 10 and 12 it's executed and you're getting the output over here. Any doubt?
So I have a doubt.
Yeah.
So like why do we use the semicolon after each line?
So we're just telling that we are ending the line. That's it.
Yeah.
So in most of the cases you might have not used, right?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, this one like I'm telling the script like I'm ending this line. That's it. For that reason, I'm using. You can like kind of as a standard way I use this way.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you explain about that white circle again?
Okay. So whenever I make changes in this Python file, right? So Visual Studio will automatically detect that one. So it's showing like there has been some change in the file. You need to save before executing that one. If I don't save and run this Python script, right? So it will take 10 and 12 previously saved file and execute that one. So I need to save this file. If I run, I'll get an error. So if you see, this one is the latest one. So I got the error like it's not something which I can use. So I remove this one. So if I remove whenever changes is there, right? So this circle will come in Visual Studio Code. It will detect the changes from previous state. You need to save that type. So if I run 10 and 12, output has been executed.
Can you tell once again how to run the code?
Okay. So you like once you write the script Python, right? So you need to go to terminal. You need to click on new terminal. Then you'll get the command prompt like terminal over here. So cmd and this one is similar. So I need to type Python space file name. File name is test.py in my case. So Python test.py. So and click enter. So you should be able to see the outputs.
Yes, sir.
So why do we use this Studio Code is that because in Google Colab, like in future, like if you are using for web development, so it doesn't support that web development in your local host, that Flask everything. So for that reason, we are trying to go through this Visual Studio Code. If you want to be familiar with same Google Colab kind of structure, so we need to install Anaconda. So I've shared the link, right? So you can open this Anaconda link. And if you click on this free download, so it will prompt me to download page. You can skip registration over here. So download for your Windows. So click on download. So it's around 912 MB. So download this
can we
file.
download? Sir, can we
Okay.
download Anaconda?
Yeah, you can download later. I'll show how to install this. So let it download. So make sure you skip this registration. So click on skip. First anaconda.com. I've shared the link. So click on free download. So skip registration. So you should be able to see download over here, Anaconda installer. So click on download. It will download.
Sir, is that around 912 MB?
Yeah, 912 MB. So this one Anaconda, what we do is like this one is mainly used for machine learning codes. So this will package everything. So it's very useful, this Anaconda. Like if you want, like after this level 3, we might be dividing into web development. So if you plan to use web development, like we can use this Visual Studio Code itself. So it's way lighter and convenient. This Anaconda is there, right? So if you want to go into the stream of machine learning or AI, so we'll use this Anaconda in order to code the Python codes. So you have to get familiar with all this software. So for this introductory session, I'm trying you to install this both Visual Studio Code as well as Anaconda. So you have to get familiar with this one. It's the same thing what you are using in Google Colab. In Google Colab, you used to have that small code executions, right? Small executions where you can divide your code and run at that instance. So similar way in Anaconda, we can do that one. So I'll install this.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, like in the registration page to skip, then after, sir, can you please?
Skip registration. So a download now is there, right? You can click on this download. So once you click on this, automatically it will start to download.
Okay, sir.
Sir, it will come. We use cookies. Can click accept all or reject all.
You can both. You can do. You can accept or you can reject. It's up to you. Reject or you can give. Nothing will happen. So So once you double click on this Anaconda, right, the first screen will come. Welcome to Anaconda. So you need to set up this one. So click on next, and you have to agree to all the terms. Click on I agree. Then install for just me. Like it's your system, right? You have to use for yourself. So then you need to mention the path. I'll be installing in some other path. You can keep the same path which you are using. See user cd anaconda 3 is there, right? Same path. I try to install in other folder. This PC. So WeJump is there, right? So I'll install in WeJump. So I'll create one more. Make new folder. So I'm installing in different directory. My screen is shared, right? Okay, fine. Time, like if you're having any doubts or if you want to discuss anything, you can ask now.
So, like the Visual Studio part, can you a little bit explain about it from the first? I think.
So if you have installed Visual Studio Code, right? So first I need to I need to open the folder where the Python code is. So what I'll do is,
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I am installing, but it is that time onwards coming like almost done.
Which one? Visual Studio Code.
Yeah.
It will take time if you're having slow internet. Let it done. Let it be completed.
Okay, sir.
So you need to first select the directory where your Python folder is. Python file is. So I'll click on go to file, open folder. So I need to go to the path. In your system, it will be there, right? So it's under D, WeJump, level 3, and this is where my folder was. So I need to select this folder first. So I'll click select folder. So if you see over here, level 3, day 1, this is the folder name. So it's only like directing to this folder. And you can create new file over here, or else you can create new file over here, or else you can create new file. If you see, only test.py is there, right? So if you go to this, so if you see test.py is there. So I'll add the new file over here. I'll make it as test abhishek.py file. I created one more Python file. So if you see, that Python file is created over here. So it's empty as of now, so it's 0 KB. So there is nothing in this Python file.
So like I have a
So
doubt.
this is, yeah,
So like how can we delete it if we don't want?
you can right click this one and delete.
Yes. Yeah.
You can click on this file, right click and delete.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so if you want to add folder to your this folder inside level 3 day 1 is there, right? If you want to add folder, you can create new folder. So tell Python test folder name, Python test. So I created new folder. So Python test folder has been created. So inside this, so I need to expand this. If you see this arrow is there, right? So right and down. So if it is down, this folder is selected. So as of now, if you see, there is no file inside this one, right? So I'll add new file inside that folder. Inside this folder, I can add new files. 1.py. So this 1.py file is created out here. So next, what you need to do is, right, you need to write some code in your Python file. C is equals to 20. Let's see. So once you have edited your code in your file, right? So you can see this circle over here. So it's saying that it's a new file, like kind of there has been some change. You need to save and execute that one. So else I can do Control S and save, or else file and save. So that circle has to go. Once that is disappeared, right? That circle. After that, in your terminal, go to terminal, and you have to click new terminal. So this dialog box will open. Here, in order to run this Python file, I type Python. This one is test .py. So if you want to run this test abhishek.py file, I need to give Python space test abhishek.py. So and I need to click enter. Once I click enter, right? So that file would be run, executed, and output would be shown in your terminal over here. Any doubts?
No, sir.
So once this Anaconda installation is completed, right? So click on next. So next. So launch Anaconda. So finish. So once it is installed, so Anaconda Navigator will be there. So this one we have to use. So since I've already launched, you'll get this Anaconda is launching. So green color circle you can see, right? It's starting your Anaconda environment. So this is your Anaconda home. So this keeps all your softwares inside this Anaconda. Like I just have one question for you guys. Have you installed any libraries for your Python before and used those?
Yes.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So what Anaconda does is that it will manage all your libraries installed at one place, so you can call it anywhere. So you should have used pip install some library name, right? So pip install PDF or something like that. It will install the libraries of those. So if you go to like there are two things. One is the home, where you can use multiple environments in order to use your Anaconda. So Jupyter Lab is there, PyCharm is there, Jupyter Notebook, Visual Studio Code. You can launch everything from here and you can use those. So then you have environments. So this one, if you see base root, so this is your Python, and you can see the tick mark, right? So these are the libraries already installed. So I'll search for NumPy. So NumPy is already installed. So it's showing me NumPy is installed. This one, there are multiple options. So installed, I can select all. So whatever associated with NumPy will list all the list. It will show me all the list. So as of now for this Anaconda, I have not installed PyTorch. So PyTorch, it's a library for machine learning. So I have not installed. So what I can do is that I can just click on this one, and if I click on apply, so it will give me like to install all the files related to PyTorch. So it will search all the libraries which is required for the PyTorch, and it will show me to install. So if you can see, so 2 packages will be installed. So it will show me the list, and once I click on apply, right, so it will automatically install PyTorch. So there is one more thing. If you can see, this base root is there, right? So what I need to do is like I should left click on this one. So I can open terminal. So if I open terminal, this command prompt is there, right? So from the Anaconda, it's opened. So you can install pip install or Conda install. This is the standard installation for Anaconda install PyTorch. There are two ways to install your libraries. So this is command type. This is your user interface in order to install your libraries. So any doubts on this one as of now? So as you've seen, right? So it's asking to install 2 packages, same thing which I shown over there. So easier way it's to use your user interface, right? Where you search the library name and click on that, and you can, when you click apply, you can install that one. Others, any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So we need to use some coding environment, right? Visual Studio Code we have seen. Since you're mostly used for Google Colab, right? There is something called as Jupyter Notebook. So it is completely similar to your Google Colab. So that whatever you see, right, where you code and those things. So it's completely similar. So we can use Jupyter Notebook itself from now onwards. So I need to select, it will open in your browser. So just once. So this is running from your localhost. So what I need to do is, right, files. I need to create one file, create one folder. So WeJump. So it's under WeJump folder now. So if you can see over here, WeJump folder. So I need to create one file. So I need to create notebook. So in Google Colab also you'll create new notebook, right? You have to click on new notebook. So the next thing is the first thing, this kernel. Kernel is nothing but which kind of package I need to use. This is Python 3, right, which we are using. So that is the main kernel. So this is the background software which we want to use, Python 3 IPY kernel. So select this one. So Python 3 IPY kernel, it's shown over here. So similar thing you should have seen in your environments, right, where you can use GPU, TPUs and Python 3 in Google Colab. It's similar. So make sure you Python 3 is selected. Or else if you want to use other kind of GPU and CPU, right? So you can utilize from here. So you are well aware of Google Colab, right? Is equals to 10. So I'll run this one. So output is executed. So it is similar to your Google Colab. So but this one it is utilizing your system. So from Anaconda you launch Jupyter Notebook. This Jupyter Notebook is running in your local system. Any doubts on this one?
No, sir.
So make sure you install both this Visual Studio Code as well as Anaconda. I've shared my screen, right? While explaining, I've shared everything. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts you have, you can ask now. So make sure you install both Visual Studio Code with Python as well as Anaconda before coming to next class.
Sure, sir.
If you're having any doubts, you can just message in the WhatsApp group. I'll respond to it. Yes, Nitish, you wanted to ask anything?
Yeah, sir, like, why do we need to download this?
As I told you, right, since you have to get familiar with the Python script, using Google Colab, we can't use web
Yes.
development. So those kind of some limitations are there. We need to use the resources from your system.
Yeah.
In order to do that, we need to run from these softwares.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
So if you see like in machine learning, you have to use large number of data set, but your Google only gives you 15 GB of space, right, in your Google Drive or something. So that is not sufficient. So in order to like utilize the full whole system resources, we'll use these softwares.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
That's it for this session. Like if you are having any doubts, like I'll answer those. So make sure you install this both these softwares before coming to class, or else have Visual Studio Code ready for next class from next class. So even if you don't install Anaconda, it's fine. But make sure Visual Studio Code with Python is there.
Sir, can everyone leave the class?
Yes, sure they can. If they are having any doubts, like an answer to those questions. If not, they can leave.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me,
I'm
sir.
looking forward to the next
Yeah,
class.
Kampu.
Sir, that Visual Studio Code coming like error.
Can you share the screen?
Okay.
Yeah, you can share the screen. I'll see that one. Can you click on retry? No, not this one. This Visual
Yes, sir.
Studio Code is different. No, this is different. So can you search Visual Studio Code? Search once again Visual Studio Code.
In this,
Okay. Search. The blue color one is there, right? The blue color Visual Studio Code.
yes, sir.
Click on install on that one. Click install. Click on install.
Sir,
So click on install. Yeah.